All right. So the stash is gone. I'm no longer J. Jonah Jameson. I just want to let you all know that.
You serious?
Today we're going to go into what exactly happened at the end of Loki, how it connects to the Marvels, and exactly what we got next going on in the multiverse. Let's get into the video. So I'm going to keep that up there on the side of the screen just so we know where we're going, and pretty much let's get into it. So first off, Kang's fate. And when I say Kang, I mean more of He Who Remains. We have now established that He Who Remains is dead. Loki went back in time, spoke to him again, and then went back forward and realized he could change it, and He Who Remains is dead. So there is nobody there anymore. Well, no protector at the end. So I made this paper, and I'm going to show you guys, and I feel like this is the best way to explain it. So people are super confused. Let me just show you real quick. So sacred timeline, right? You have a bunch of different branches and different timelines. That's what I'm assuming, because the fact that Toby and Andrew are also included in this, 838 is also in this stuff, so on and so forth. Loki season 1, Loki season 2, Quantumania, back to Loki season 2. Okay. And they also made it very clear that Quantumania is a parallel of the 616 to our universe. Whether or not we're 616 or we're 616-2 or whatever, that's what we were getting at from the screens on episode 3, I believe. Anyways, take a look back at it. So, lines are going into the sacred timeline. The sacred timeline is funneling this singular line. Whether or not there's other parallels behind it, it is a singular stream, right? So it could have 10 different universes, but it's all in the sacred timeline. So there's no branches and whatnot. Then, when Kang dies, or He Remains dies, they start branching, right? It starts going haywire. More timelines are building into the sides. Then Loki breaks the loom. They're all dead. And this is the part where I think people don't understand. So take in mind, they are all dead. This one's... So Loki is right here. He's sitting on the chair, right? Loki. He is holding all the branches, and they're parallel. Once again, they all go up, and it's forming Yggdrasil, the giant world tree. It's essentially, he is holding together all of the timelines by power. He is powering those and giving them life is what he's doing. I don't necessarily think he's holding them. He is giving them life and giving them fuel to stay alive and not die off. So he is the anchor. We were shown that he essentially is, and it's funny because Rob made a video and I saw this, like, I don't know, I was talking to my buddy Louis, or Syrian Geek, like 20 minutes before his video went out, and I was like, do you remember in God of War? And I'll show you real quick. So this character's name is Atlas, for any of you who've played it. And I mean, it's literally a symbolization for Loki. So apparently Atlas is also in the comics, Rob went on to say. And he has like one issue, and it's like a long time ago. And essentially he is the anchor of the multiverse. And I was thinking, everybody's like, oh, Loki is God of Stories. And Rob made a good answer to it. He's not God of Stories, because he could have rewritten everything. He essentially is Atlas. He is the anchor of the multiverse. He is the one at the bottom holding it all up, powering it. Just like how Atlas, after the Titan War with Zeus, was forced to hold up the heavens forever. That was his punishment. He was chained and they were being held up by him. And he was sitting there and he was supposed to hold. And something I thought today was, what happens if Loki has to like itch his eye or go to the bathroom or eat some food? Like, I know it's like, oh, it's a TV show, but you got to think about stuff like that. Like, he's screwed. One sneeze and he's done, So, back to the whole Loki thing. So, essentially, it's like, okay, so he's the anchor at the end. So, he's sitting there with glorious purpose, even though he's crying. It's the most depressing thing I've ever seen, but the greatest arc for a character. He went from, we have to rule together, I need to stop He Remains, to we need to kill Sylvie, to we have no other way, to he literally walked out and with the smoothest transition turned into the supreme anchor Loki, the god of the multiversal anchor, and it's insane. People are like, well, can you just project him? No, stop. It's not how it works. He's sitting there at the end of time till he dies. And he's holding it all up. He Who Remains is gone, and Loki essentially is holding it. Now, brings us into the Marvels. by doing this, everything is parallel because at the end, once again, like I said, they said that 616 had the Quantumania event. So the Quantumania event might have been a multiversal event. Like, it didn't have to be in the 616, even though we know it is because it was in the sacred timeline. But, you know, well, it's just so confusing because then it's like, what's the purpose of the TVA? Why is the TVA at the end? Which leads me to this. I want you guys to see this real quick. So, My Time to Shine said this. The events of Deadpool 3 take place after the Loki Season 2 finale. The TVA got word that the Kangs are gathering and a new multiversal war is about to start, so they create an army of multiversal heroes, mostly from dying worlds, to fight the Council of Kangs. Mr. Paradox is replacing Mobius, was going to be in it for a while and still could have a cameo, but they decided to just leave him out. Obviously, his story is over. He'll be back in full in Avengers films and is trying to recruit Wolverine. Deadpool, who's a prisoner at the TVA after messing with the time, hears about it and escape his plan to get Wolverine to come with him instead. So that English was horrible right there. But anyways, I feel like that doesn't make sense because the TVA is used to fight Kangs now. The TVA is not used to stop people from having free will. The whole thing was Loki was giving free will. So you see how that doesn't make sense? And also with them saying that they've only shot a third of the movie, I'm really going to take this very lightly at the start. But then it brings us into this. Once again, I'm going to pop this back on the screen for y'all because I just feel like the emphasis makes more sense. The Marvels tie-in. This essentially allows the multiverse to open up. Multiverses are crashing into each other. Incursions are happening. People are dreamwalking. Yada, yada, yada. Kamala Khan gets the bangles. Dar-Ben uses the bangles and smashes them together, causing an incursion. Monica has to fly through and ends up seeing her mom in the X-Men Days of Future Past universe. I'm going with the I'm going with the X-Men Days of Future Past universe because it makes the most sense. Charles is still alive, and these characters, they had the X2 theme, and they also had the Future Past theme playing coherently parallel to each other at the same time. I'm sorry, it's late, I'm tired. But they were playing at the same time next to each other. This was going on. If you listen carefully, you heard both of them. And they also mentioned, which I think a lot of people missed, in every time, in every universe, this is what we're assuming because this is what was said in the film, Maria was supposed to be hit by the beam. She was supposed to become Captain Marvel, and Carol ended up taking it. So I'm assuming Carol's an anomaly of this event, which means, you know, essentially she should have been pruned, but yada, 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 who knows. Anyways, it's crazy that this is all a tie-in, and it makes sense. I loved the Marvels film. I don't care what anybody says. I think it was an 8 out of 10. It was perfect. It tied in a bunch of different shows and movies together, and it gave us what exactly we needed. And then Secret Invasion tied in with the Marvels. Tina will say no, but literally look at Nick Fury. He has the eye patch back, the gray hair is gone, and he's back to like his normal self telling jokes and stuff, and he's not so serious. And then it's just, you know, obviously we're leading into Deadpool now. There's so much going on, and with the strike over, it's going to be crazy soon. And I just wanted to bring this up, and I just wanted to talk about this real quick. I know this isn't a really important video. Besides, we know that Captain America Brave New World is getting reshoots coming up, and that apparently everything else got pushed back, that there's only going to be like Deadpool next year, X-Men 97, What If will be December this year, and then a bunch of other TV shows, possibly like Agatha Coven of Chaos, or now Darkhold Diaries, or Coven of Chaos, or whatever you want to call it, and I think Ironheart. But yeah, what a year, what a day, what a weekend. I'm so still confused on Loki, if it makes sense. Like, they're saying, oh, well, you can pivot from Kang. You can't pivot from Kang. There are so many Kangs. You don't just get rid of them at this point. How? Loki's not rewriting anything. They literally are stuck with Kang. If they recast Jonathan Majors, then it happens, which I hope they don't, because he's amazing. Is He Who Remains, is Victor Timely. Everything is so great. I don't know. I don't know where we're going from here. It's just, it is what it is. Also, I want to add in that Captain Marvel, they really redeemed Brie Larson in this. They really generally did. Monica was great. Kamala Khan was not annoying in this. She felt like Peter Parker in Civil War. I love the film. I love this finale. I love where we're going with Marvel. And I am so excited for Deadpool 3. Let me know what y'all thought down below. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.
See you, chump.